Planning our trip through Cambodia, a big decision was how to get from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap. Through searching, I found that we weren't the only one with that question. For us, a boat was not an option as we were in the dry season. A bus would be great for seeing the country, but 6 hours straight on a bus wasn't that appealing. We also thought we might not be able to stop at restaurants to actually get some food that we could eat, being vegan. And the plane was quick, but we wouldn't get to see anything. Our next option, and the option we went for, was a private driver. This is Da. He's not just a driver, he's an interpreter, he's a photographer, he's a guide, and he's just an awesome guy. At Da's suggestion, we decided to break up our trip by going to Sambor Prei Kuk temples. Da was a constant source of great information, such as historic sites, points of interest, like this wall. This wall is only found around monasteries, so we knew whenever we saw this type of wall, it would be a monastery. Once you turn off the main road to Sambor Prei Kuk temples, the area becomes less developed. This is the ticket area where you buy your ticket. Once you buy the tickets and head off, it's about another 20 minutes. In the car, the road quickly turns to dirt. A little bit bumpy, but very few people. So these temples are all made of mud brick and are around 1200 years old, and the mud brick's still holding together. That's incredible. Sambor Prei Kuk temples are located 30 kilometres north of Kampong, a bit over halfway on the trip between Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, and it's a great way to break up the journey. Our main reason for going with a private driver was to see some of the sites along the way, and Sambor Prei Kuk temples was a perfect stop. The site was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2017. The temples were built between the late 6th and 9th centuries and made predominantly of mud brick. There are 3 different areas of temples to visit there. Data drove us around to the different 3 after we explored each one. So the lack of crowds at Sambor Prei Kuk temples is great. You can walk around, feels like you're the only one there. The downside to that is there's nowhere to get anything to eat. So we stopped at this place on the way to Siem Reap, Google Translator in hand, doing our best, feeling confident. But I obviously stuffed something up because what we got was definitely not vegan. We just ate the rice and chili to be safe. So if you are vegan, probably the best thing I could advise is do a little more practice on Khmer language before you go to Cambodia, so you know what to say, what to ask for, and how to ask it. The great thing about having a driver who's so passionate about Cambodian culture and history was all the information we got on the trip to Siem Reap. Da pointed out points of interest, French architecture, the building that was used by the UN. Even as we went past his school, pointed out an area where a killing field was. Da speaks perfect English, and it was so great to get the perspective of someone who's grown up in the area of what we're looking at, as well as stories of his childhood and how he grew up, the way things were done, how he travelled to school.
We're 13 kilometres from Siem Reap.
This is the reason that I would highly recommend getting a private driver and getting the right driver. We had the pleasure of spending 3 days with Da as he guided us around different areas around Siem Reap. You'll be able to see that in future videos. And if you're going that way and looking for a guide, Da is your man. I'll put a link to his details in the comments.
Is that just for Christmas or?
Yes, Christmas and New Year's.